Hello children, welcome to today's English class. Now we are going to discuss the story, the longest story. Student, before you listen a story which has ending, but read the story, you know about it. Let's read the story. Once there was a king. The king had a beautiful daughter. The king loved to tell stories. His daughter loved to listen to stories. The princess grew up listening to stories from her father. One day, the king declared, "One who can tell the longest story lasting more than 10 days will marry my daughter. And if one fails, he will be my servant for rest of his life." Storytelling experts came from far off places to tell the longest story and marry the princess. First, a handsome young man told a story. The story lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. But on the 4th day, the story came to an end. The young man was made the king's servant for rest of his life. Then came another young man from a distant country. He told a story which was lasted for 5 days and 5 nights. But on the 6th day, the story came to an end. The young man was made servant at the royal palace for the rest of his life. Next, another young man, a real expert in storytelling, came from another country. He told a story which lasted for 6 days and 6 nights. But on the 7th day, the story came to an end. The young man became king's servant for the rest of his life. Now, we will discuss some new words. Grew up means getting bigger. Look at this picture. Getting bigger. Look at this picture. The girl wants to be a doctor when she grows up. Declare. To say something publicly or announce. Look at this picture. Here, the king is declare something important. Then next word, last, means continue. The movie lasted for 3 hours. Then another word, for. Look at this picture. Where is the boy? Yes, the boy is standing far from the tree. Now discuss another word. That is expert. Expert means skillful or specialist. Look at this picture. Tell student, what is the name of this picture? Yes, Dhoni. Okay. Dhoni is an expert cricket player. Then another word, handsome. Handsome means looking good. Look at this picture. Do you know, children? Yes, you know. Okay. Babusan is a handsome hero. He is good looking, so he is a handsome hero. Let's discuss the topic in details. Once there was a king. Look at this picture. This is a king. The king had a beautiful daughter. This is daughter, the king's daughter. The king loved to tell stories. Tell stories. Tell stories. And his daughter loved to listen stories. The princess grew up listening to stories from her father. One day, the king declared, here look at this picture. The king declared, one who can tell the longest story lasting more than 10 days will marry my daughter. And if one fails, he will be my servant for rest of his life. The storytelling experts. The storytelling experts. You know, children, the experts means, expert meaning the specialist. So, the storytelling experts came from far off places. Far off, you know the far off? Distant. Okay. The storytelling experts came from far off places to tell the longest story and marry the princess. Let's discuss the paragraph 3. First, a handsome young man told a story. The story lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. A handsome young man told a story and the story continued till 3 days, 3 nights. But on the 4th day, the story came to an end. Then the young man was made the king's servant for rest of his life. King's servant. You know, children, servant who serving the king. Okay. Then paragraph 4. Then came another young man from a distant country. From a distant country. He told a story which was lasted for 5 days and 5 nights. But on the 6th day, the story came an end. Another young man who came from distant country, he said the story only for 5 days and 5 nights. Let's discuss in detail the paragraph 5. Next, another young man, a real expert in storytelling. You know, children, the word expert, who is very specialist, came from another country. He told a story which lasted for 6 days and 6 nights. The real story experts who tell the story, and he continued till 6 days, 6 nights. But on the 7th day, the story came to an end. So the young man became king's servant for the rest of his life. Now, students, we will do the comprehension questions. Now, look at the question 1. Who are there in the story? Let's again. Who are there in the story? In this story, a king and his beautiful daughter. Then question number 2. Who love to tell stories? The king loved to tell stories. Is it correct? Yes. The king loved to tell stories. And the answer is the king. Then question number 3. Who loved to listen stories? Tell me the answer. Okay. His daughter loved to listen to stories. So the answer is his daughter. Then question number 4. What did the king declare? Again, what did the king declare? Tell me the answer. Yes, the king declared, one who can tell the longest story lasting more than 10 days will marry my daughter. And the answer is one who can tell the longest story lasting more than 10 days will marry his daughter. Then question number 5. Who came from far off places to tell stories? Answer the student. Okay. The storytelling experts came from far off places to tell the longest story. And the answer is the storytelling experts. Let's discuss question number 6. Who came first to tell a story? Answer it, student. Okay. The answer is First, a handsome young man told a story. The answer is handsome young man. Then question number 7. How long did his story last? Answer, student. Yes, correct. The story lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. Then question number 8. What happened to the young man? Again, what happened to the young man? Answer it. Yes, it is correct. The young man was made the king's servant for rest of his life. The answer is king's servant. Let's discuss the question number 9. Who came next? Again, who came next? Answer it. Yes. Another young man from a distant country. The answer is another young man. Then question number 10. How long did his story last? Answer it. Yes, correct. He told a story which was lasted for 5 days and 5 nights. So his story lasted for 5 days, 5 nights. Then question number 11. What happened to him? Answer it. Yes, correct. The young man was made servant at the royal palace. So the answer is king's servant at the royal palace. Okay, students. Now discuss the question number 12. Who was the next storyteller? Answer it. Yes. Another young man, a real expert in storytelling. A real expert storyteller came next. Then question number 13. Was he successful in telling an unending story? Tell me the answer. Yes, correct. Was he successful in telling an unending story? No. He not successful in telling an unending story. The answer is no. Then what happened to him? Then question number 14. What happened to him? Tell me the answer. Yes. The young man became king servant for the rest of his life. So the answer is king's servant. Then question number 15. Do you think another storyteller would come and tell a story? Children, answer it. Yes. You think another storyteller would come and tell a story? Okay. Yes. Okay, students. Now, what we learned today? Today, we read a text and comprehended it. Thank you. Bye bye, students.